a little video from Nick Fuentes. Let's see what this guy's really about.
Yeah. Is Nick Fuentes a racist? He's Catholic. That means that's it. That's it, bro.
If he's a racial loyalist, there's not going to be much I'm going to disagree with, I reckon.
Bravo Yo Gutierrez sent $100. I have a landscape company, in Mexican, and excuses my guys, they can't see. Like most, they don't even know why they vote Democrat. They idealize women like they are queens or special. If you think about it, women go along most of the degeneracy. Saying, let him wear a pink dress or light a fat whale saying you're a 10. Shame. They aren't special.
Big agree. They're not special. They're not fascinating. They just suck. Okay? Now, women are great and all, but we got to get over this glorifying women. Women are what they are, okay? They're just like us. In the sense that when people say, oh, my woman makes my world go round, it's like, okay, cut the shit, okay? We're all people. Nothing's that great, okay?
Stop.
I don't love this.
I like this guy already.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this guy already.
He's like very watchable.
Yeah,
he's
keeping it 1,000, right? Yeah. He's keeping it 1,000 right now.
He's got this amazing talent of triggering everyone as soon as every word comes out of his.
Wow, this is what he's about, yeah.
It's almost like, please don't speak. Please don't say nothing. Just sit there quiet.
Bro, I respect people that, whether I disagree with them or don't, I respect that they're ready to say what they're about.
I think it's funny because he triggers everyone without saying anything wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, man, we're all people. So, yeah, I mean, you find the people that you love and everything, and that's terrific, and that's great. But women are not God. Women are not holy. We can't, this glorification of women. They are fallen human beings just like us. We have a complementary nature. That's great. That's why we're infatuated with women. But when guys get on this like supernatural stuff where they're like, women are holy, they're perfection, they're pure. It's like, listen, man, we love our women and all that. You can love your wife and she's your special someone or whatever, but let's not let the romantic Valentine's Day talk infect our conception of reality. You know what I'm saying?
He's right, man.
Yeah, he's absolutely 110% right.
So, I agree with you. I don't like this putting them on a pedestal and all of that. People say this stuff like, real manliness is to put the village to the sword for your wife. It's like, do you know that back in those days, women were getting their heads chopped off and getting raped all the time and couldn't make any decisions? Nobody was putting village to the sword for women. Like, that's happening in Greek mythology, and it's like political stuff. Nobody's putting the village to the sword because he wants pussy. No, nobody's doing that, okay? So, and if you are, it's honestly sad and it's immature. I hear that kind of stuff and it's like, one, women were ignorant and they got thrown around and beat up and everything. And what you're talking about is like the Trojan War. You're talking about the Peloponnesian War is what you're talking about. When you say this, guys used to kill for their women. They used to go to war for their women. I mean, are you talking about like Greece and Troy? Are you talking about Greek mythology? In which case, it was technically about a girl, but really it was political. Also, it was probably not even true. So to the extent that there were ever wars over women, it was really about politics. It wasn't like I want to go to war so I could finger blast this girl on the dance floor, which is what guys are talking about these days. I will go to war and have a snap streak with her perfection, her beauty, 300 days on Snap. Ain't nobody going to war
What he's talking about is modern men. Modern men are bloody disease.
Simping.
Yeah, simping. It's modern men have adopted this attitude, of putting women on the pedestal, and when they just, what he's basically saying, women are just human beings. They're human beings. They're just as flawed as all of us, and for you to be putting these women on a pedestal is wrong. But it comes from somewhere. It comes from the feminization of men. This is what created the modern men. Do you see what I'm saying? And unfortunately, we are infested with modern men that no longer have traditional values and no longer understand their masculinity, or are too afraid to let's be honest as well, a lot of them have, apart from being bombarded by feminist ideals and feminist propaganda, a lot of them also are not being raised by masculine men. Take away the moral foundation away from that, what you have, they literally creating, this is where this narrative that women is God, that's where it all comes from. Do you see what I'm saying? It comes from that simp nature, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say it, but it does. It comes from that simp nature, because look, even the feminization of society, you can see that. If you watch, for example, the feminization of society, you can see it in movies, you can see it everywhere, and it's always valid. It's always based on validating bad behavior from women. A single mother is glorified in Hollywood movies. You see the brother, the father is always this idiot. You know what I mean? Running after her. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? So the man is always,
not seen serious as a joker.
Simpson is
Homer straight. This guy says nothing wrong. He's just saying the reality. Whilst for years men have been just gassing and blowing women's head up.
Yeah,
feminism, or feeding into feminism. Yeah, this guy just putting the reality back in there.
Yeah,
and it needs to be heard. To be fair,
yeah, definitely.
It really needs to be heard. That's why there's a whole new trend about this with Kevin Samuels and all that kind of stuff. People want to bring it back. They want to stop the charade. They want to stop gassing up women and feeding their ego, because they're turning nasty themselves.
Yeah,
I think people are only shocked because they haven't heard it for a while.
Yeah.
So when it's starting to come back now,
shocking.
it's shocking, but it's true.
Yeah,
that's why it's burned so much.
Yeah,
but
that's why there's outrage.
Yeah, but as the leaders, men are supposed to be the leaders. They the ones who are supposed to be. We can't expect women to change this, because women right now are in their ego. The more you validate, they're not gonna stop. They're enjoying that ego. They already get all the help from the system. Do you see what I'm saying? They want that ego boost. Do you see what I'm saying? They're not gonna stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why would they give up the power?
According to the order of things, men are supposed to be the leaders, women are the followers. With this ego boost, with the system on their side, just if you think they're gonna change their ways, no, they're not. They have. There's way too much in there to give them that ego boost, to expect them to change their ways. It's men who have to change,
because they've had a taste of the power.
Exactly.
Why would they give it up? No one gives up power.
They've got too much to lose now at this point.
Yeah, but because we've got too many simps, you see what I'm saying? It's like there's no guarantee things will change anytime soon.
Yeah.
So they could grind on a girl to an Usher song at the club and she's a slut. That's just fake. That never happened. And if it did, it's just pathetic and sad. Not to be vulgar, but seriously. Her grace, her beauty, her perfection, the puppy filter. Could you just keep it in your pants? Men used to do things like they were polymaths, and they would study optics, and they would study plants and colors. And they used to be inventors and poets and writers. And they used to be in the government. They used to have government posts. Men used to actually do things. And now guys are like, real manliness is, feel like a big tough guy for pussy. No, dude, no. No. Sorry, but all the great men of history were not like that. They were not simps. You don't even have to look very far either. Stalin was not putting the village to the sword for women. He was doing it for communism. Hitler was not, he didn't go to Paris for a woman. He did it for the Aryan race. He did that for us. He did it for us. No, but you know what I mean. But isn't that true, though? Do you really think that Hitler was in Paris for a girl? That would be so... Wouldn't that kill your conception of Hitler? I would think less of Hitler if he did that than if the Holocaust were real. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Kidding.
You see it?
Okay, he's stretching the boundaries.
But no, Hitler didn't roll on Paris for a woman. Stalin didn't take over half of Europe and develop a nuclear arsenal for a woman. Putin is divorced. He didn't invade Ukraine for a woman. Napoleon didn't take over Europe for a woman. Isaac Newton didn't invent physics for a woman. Goethe didn't write Faust for a woman. Nobody, none of the great men, Mozart did, no one did it for a woman. They did it because it was great and because it was right and it was true. And the sex was like, that's just like a perk. That's just like a perk. You just get that when you're, killing a bunch of people or whatever.
He's got a lot of knowledge.
He obviously does.
He knows what to say to trigger everyone.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows how to say it.
He knows how to say it. And I don't think it's the fact that Nick Fuentes is racist. I think here he's just kind of shown an observation that the world is racist, and it always has been, with all the historical events that he's talking about.
Yeah, racism will never die. Just like lying will never stop. Just like as long as human beings exist on Earth, these things will never, ever, ever stop. I'm sorry to say it. You're never going to have, it's a utopia where everyone behaves in the right way.
Yeah,
Listen,
that's impossible.
You're always going to have...
Who would want that?
Yeah, you're always going to have murderers. You're always going to have rapists. You're always going to have... and that doesn't make it right. But to me, that's a reflection of human nature. That's a reflection... I mean, as a Christian, we believe that human beings were born with sinful nature. It's a reflection of that, if anything. So this idea that... things will sort itself out and everything will become perfect and every human being will start getting along and all the problems of the world will be sorted. It's absolute rubbish. This will never exist. It will never happen as long as human beings exist in the world. It just won't. So to me, racism is just a symptom of sin. That's all it is.
If it's happening, you should be allowed to talk about it.
Yeah,
And,
freely.
Freely.
Yeah.
I think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I think he ethered feminism with his analogy of men going to war, because people really think men go to war for women.
Yeah,
and women really believe that.
Yeah, because it boosts their ego. It's attention.
Yeah, it is like a motivation, but the ultimate motivation is power.
That's bigger than
and conquer.
Yeah, that's bigger than sexual attraction.
Yeah,
power is the real power, greed.
Yeah.
That's the real motivation behind it. And what comes with power? Women,
exactly.
That's it.
What did Scarface say? First you get the money.
Yeah, then you get the
power.
Yeah.
Then you get the
Then you get everything else that comes with it.
Exactly.
So the motivation is always power. It's always greed, isn't it? It goes back to greed.
It's greed, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the real motivation behind all of that.
He seems like a guy I'll catch joke with at work.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah. You would be like,
catch this guy will make me laugh at work.
Yeah, defo. Like, this hypersensitive society that we're currently living in. I don't agree with racism. I don't agree with murder, rape. I don't agree with any of that. All of that is wrong. But I can acknowledge that this is a reality and it exists and it happens and it's not going to die. We can at least acknowledge that. We can't keep putting these things under the carpet. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can't talk about this, we can't talk about that. Because look how tense things got when he mentioned the Holocaust.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Look how tense things, you can feel it. You see what I'm saying?
He went there.
He did that on purpose because he knows you're not allowed to talk about it.
He knows the triggers the trigger level.
Yeah, he's like treading along the margin, isn't it?
Yeah. He knows the trigger level.
Treading lightly.
Yeah.
Don't cross the line though. They'll come and get you.
They did.
So, Newton didn't invent apples. Yeah, Newton didn't invent gravity for a woman. Anyway,
It's gonna keep beating.
But that's the thing. Women really believe it though.
Yeah, I don't know why Mexicans vote Democrat either. They're not based. But I appreciate you, man. Big shout out.
Kelton sent
Just talking about stuff that's actually happening in real life.
That's that shock jock style. It seems like you're just using shock jock.
Shock value.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I like from. I've seen I've heard his interviews, and he obviously. It's more than just shock value. He believes he believes in the stuff that he's actually saying. He really believes in it, and to be that knowledgeable and not believe in what you're saying it's almost literally impossible. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to really believe in what you're saying. Do you see what I'm saying? And to me, why are we cancelling him just because he gives a different perspective from most?
So this guy is cancelled, like
So it's like everyone wants everyone to think in the same way. This is what I'm getting, right? Everyone wants everyone to think in the same way. There's the powers that be want everyone to think to think in the same way, agree with the same thing, be disgusted by the same things, and so on and so forth. And anyone who presents a different way of thinking,
crazy.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Like, I've seen loads of people saying things that I would say, whoa, that was racist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because they're not talking about, because it's not coming from a particular group, or it's not, you know what I mean, it's not aimed at a particular, it's like, it's okay, it's allowed. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's selective outrage.
I think what also another thing you have to take into account is especially with these internet personalities we're now getting, like Andrew Tate and Nick Fuentes, they almost have this character that they have to build before performing. It's a little bit of a performance as well. A little bit of a character they put on, and it's entertainment at the end of the day.
It is.
So you shouldn't take it too seriously.
Can't believe, like, he's well, I haven't seen a lot of any of his stuff, so don't know how far he goes with it.
Check it out, bro.